episode of Let's Talk It Out is brought to you by the Municipal Councillor for the District of St. Bruno since 2013, Mr. David Tekotis. David understands his important role as a competent and honest administrator. In addition to his mandate as a Municipal Councillor for the District of St. Bruno, he held key positions on the Executive Committee as Vice President of the Executive Committee and Deputy Mayor. David chaired the Board of Directors of Société de Transport de Laval, or STL. His duties did not prevent him from being a caring husband who stays close to his family. David applies his values of humanity and integrity in each of his functions to the benefit of Laval residents. David also wants St. Bruno to remain a vibrant community with a strong community attachment serving its citizens. Now, back to our latest episode of Let's Talk It Out. Welcome back, guys, to Let's Talk It Out. I'm kind of flying solo, but only from this angle because I have the mysterious voice that angle. Hi, Vanny.
Hello. It's a special Let's Talk It Out, a real Let's Talk It Out with a real co-host. I'm not just, I just insulted Francesca. No, that's not what I meant.
It's okay. We know what you meant. Francesca's not here, though.
Francesca's not here. She works way too hard. But we're going to make it interesting.
We will.
And we have a really cool show.
Yes.
No guest.
It doesn't matter. We do have a guest. Boy, you're really on a roll tonight, Vanny. Oh my God.
We do have a guest.
We do have a guest.
Yes.
But I'm not going to reveal the mystery guest yet.
You're not going to reveal it? Is it the person behind you? The girl looking at you behind you?
Look, she's in shock.
M, way to go.
There you go. M, you captured the moment. Speaking of M, we're actually in his studio. Emil Vidmar, he is an artist, and this is his amazing studio. So guys, if you ever want artwork, especially custom made, he's the contact. He's your guy. Vanny is going to put it somewhere on the screen because I can't point because he goes opposite of where I point.
It's Emil.3 on Instagram. Guys, go follow him. He's fantastic. Check out his artwork. Every week we have a different display behind, and it's amazing. He does amazing work, guys. Support his art, local Montreal artist, and he lets us do this podcast.
Yep.
So it's amazing. But you know what? I'm so excited about your guest, Lisa.
Well, I'm excited about our sponsors first.
But let's do the sponsor. And you know what's funny is you have your wine.
Yes.
I need my beer. So you do the sponsors, I get my beer.
It never fails.
We're on fire. Let's do this. Let's do this.
All righty. So, guys, I would like to present our sponsors. Now, they are both recurring sponsors, and we're so thankful for that. You guys are amazing, exceptional, so supportive and encouraging to all our sponsors and the ones that have recurred. One of our recurring ones would be Richard Babb Photography. Thanks so much, Richard. Guys, Richard Babb is a photographer. His work is exquisite. It's very, very trendy. Whatever style that suits you, whatever color, whatever pose, whatever, location, he is your guy. The work is exceptional, and he has such a good heart, and he's very, very artistic with his vision and his mindset as to what he can create for you. So Richard Babb, once again, to contact him, it's 514-923-3168. You can also reach him on Instagram, Richard_Babb_photography. Guys, he's fantastic. And the pictures that he has, and he keeps posting new ones, which is very, very nice. Like, it's exceptional, and he's a sweetheart. So,
yes, he is.
Yeah, he's a really good guy. So, guys, reach out to him.
Okay, guys, hold on. Before the next sponsor, you just have to listen to this. Did you hear that?
Okay. Sounded like you were gassy, Vanny.
It is gas, but from somewhere else. It's beer time. I gotta have my beer. I gotta have a nice little. We have fun on the podcast, and it's we have really cool talks, but we gotta have fun too. I mean, come on, right? Look at Lisa drinking her wine. I
hear a fan though in here.
Her non-alcoholic wine. What? Oh yes, there is a fan. That's okay.
So guys, my non-alcoholic wine with Vin Zero. So that's once again thanks to M. He's an ambassador for Vin Zero, and it's really tasty actually. This is a Chardonnay.
I love Chardonnay.
Yeah, me too.
I can't tell the difference, but I love Chardonnay. Okay. White wine is white wine.
It's very good. Now we're going to go to our second sponsor, and as we are eternally grateful for Richard Babb for being a continuous sponsor, we're also very, very grateful and also humbled. Thank you so much to Van Cropsel, Remax Alliance. He's a real estate broker. Ekip Cropsel. He is highly informative, dedicated, patient, addresses your needs, finds you what you're looking for. He's highly, highly knowledgeable in the profession, and he's somebody that you can trust and create a rapport with. So he's definitely your guy if you're looking for a house, even if you're looking to sell a house. He's very informed, and that's what you need. You need somebody who is very solid in their knowledge and solid in their paperwork, and he knows what he's talking about, especially your laws. Very important.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, Van Cropsel, 438-402-9471, vancropsel.com, Van C at remax-quebec.com. Thanks so much, Van. Thanks so much, Richard. We adore you guys, and now let's talk it out. So
let's talk it out. Wait. You have the best guest I've ever seen. I'm
really?
just saying, yes.
That's because you're seeing him in the monitor.
No, it's because, look, it's a big reveal. I know you guys are patiently waiting. So, Lisa, I'll let you prop him up. Come on. You need to talk about this guy. He's really cool.
Let me be very cautious how I promote this guy.
What?
We don't want inflation.
What?
And I'm not talking about the economy.
You have no idea how big he is inflated right now.
A pretty good idea. So guys, without further ado, we decided to do something a little bit more.
It's me. I'm the guest. No, I'm the guest. Okay. Keep introducing. Keep going.
So we're trying to keep it very much on a level whereby everybody already created a rapport with this person.
Yes.
Now, obviously, he revealed himself who he is. So
yes, it's me. It's me, guys.
It just wrecked my whole intro.
I'm the guest.
Yes, so the guest would be Stefano Vanni.
Damn fucking right.
No, Lord.
Yes.
So we're not talking about Stefano Vanni, the musician, though. We're talking about his alternate life.
Well, we could talk about that.
He comes
too,
from another galaxy far,
far
far away.
This guy's messed up.
He said it. Remember that.
Messed up.
We're going to be focusing on what Stefano does in terms of his everyday work. And also, we're going to be touching a little bit about your music as well, but I don't want to delve too much into that.
Okay.
Everybody knows.
Okay, no. But how cool of a guy is this guest? No, really. Okay. No, I'm kidding, guys. But I am kidding. I'm trying to be funny. But listen, Lisa, thank you very much. Lisa decided to have some sort of guest, kinda. So I'm some sort of guest, but it's you know what? Because part of the conversation we wanted to have, let's talk it out. We wanted to have a conversation about work-life balance. Mm-hmm. So Lisa and myself, along with Francesca, as you can see, she's not here sometimes because she is super busy.
Yep.
And, the podcast is a hobby that we enjoy so much. Mm-hmm. But we wanted to talk about work-life balance because it's super important nowadays. And being that Lisa and myself are fucking crazy when it comes to work and working hard and a few jobs and stuff like that, we wanted to... So Lisa said, well, you can be the guest and then we can get into the work-life balance because it's important for everyone to listen to. And I think because of the experience, I won't, our 22-year-old stature. Because of the experience we
21.
have working and having a family. Mm-hmm. We both have families and we both work like animals and we make it work. So we decided to have like a podcast on that, and I guess I'm the guest because I called myself the guest.
You are a guest.
We're gonna talk about us and what we do and how we maintain a more work-life balance. So it's gonna be a fun episode of Let's Talk It Out.
Let's yammer it on, guys.
Back to you, Lisa.
Let's yammer it out. So basically, we're going to delve right into it in terms of doing what you do in terms of being a postal worker. Now, nobody really understands what's involved in being a postal worker.
Absolutely.
I mean, you always think, I get my mail and that's what, but what really is the essence? What is the essence?
The essence.
What is the work, the concentration, the focus, the investment of time that goes behind what you do?
Oh, that's a hell of a question.
Yes, it's a multifaceted.
Well, the first thing, this is like people are watching saying, oh, big work-life balance. He's a fucking mailman. He delivers letters. But no, I mean, that is definitely my full-time, quote-unquote, gig. But I was also a musician full-time before becoming a postman. And I kept that going as well. And then we added on the podcast. And we had a series as well, which you can watch on Likumbare. So we kind of do podcasting. I have 2 jobs, sometimes 3 and 4, because the music life takes you so many directions, which I can talk about also. And we'll start off with the post stuff. So my full-time gig is a postman. I'm also a musician, I guess, part-time, but I do a lot. Like I do like 2-3 times a week gigs along with rehearsals. So it's almost like a full-time gig. I also, like I said, have the podcast, and I teach music. I run the music program at a couple of high schools, so that's an after school. So I hire the teachers and I send them to teach. And I used to book a lot of gigs as well for brasserie, which I still kind of do here and there. Well, the brasserie not so much, but I still book gigs for DJs and bands. And I got a couple of bands. I do play in 4 different bands. So basically, yes, it stays super busy. But we're going to start with the post. So, yeah, that was super long-winded. I just spoke.
No, it's okay.
But starting with the post, now I'm lucky. I'm 15 years in doing this. So I got the hang of it. I have my own route, and I go in the morning. I mean, it seems simple. You go in, you sort, and then you deliver. You tie it up to go, and you deliver. It's a lot more complex, hence why the mailmen, we have trouble retaining delivery agents, because it's a lot of stress at the beginning. It doesn't sound like it, but you got to learn how to use a scanner. You got to learn how to be extremely effective, fast. You're dealing with the elements constantly outside, so may it be hot or cold, ice, stairs, people. I don't want to say breaking your balls, but people talking to you, and you got to be friendly. And of course, that's the fun part. That's what I like. I like seeing people. I like working outside. Yeah. Dealing with the elements. The elements could be the building, could be a broken down door, it could be stairs that are falling apart.
Weather.
Dogs. I mean, it's weird, but dogs, we can talk about that. Weather, of course. There's a lot that happen, and your hands are full. So you got to learn how to be effective, because anyone new when they start, literally. Like an 8-hour day becomes a 12-hour day, eyes closed, and they, because they have to finish what they have to deliver, and it ends up being 12, 13 hours sometimes.
Yeah. And
it's not fun when it gets night and you can't see what you're doing. It's not fun doing that. But so there's a lot of organization to do and getting used to, and the physical element. I end up walking 12, 15 kilometers a day. I climb about, I'd say on my route now, I do about 50, 70 flights of stairs. That's along with getting in and out of the truck and, delivering parcels, of course. So there's a lot of walking. Your feet hurt. And we got weight on, our mail adds at 30 pounds to us in our bags. So, whatever. Not the end of the world. Once you get the hang of it, you're outside. Beautiful day like today. It's you walk around, you talk to people, you smile, you laugh, listen to podcasts. And so that's what the mailman gig is.
But in terms of when you're a mailman, what sort of, I'm not sure if it's a quality, let's say, or a character that you have to have in order to accept and be part of that type of profession. Because that's what it is, right? You're essentially creating a future for yourself, because being part of a federal job, a government job, it takes care of you in the sense that you're working for the government. Is there a specific qualification that you have to have, or is something of an interest, or is it just, the physical, the mental, you go in, you just, invest yourself like any other job?
You know what? I'm going to have to answer that in 1 minute.
Yes.
You're going to have to talk about our Vinzero sponsor while I come back, because we have a guest at the door. So
Yay!
Talk about our Vinzero.
If anybody can talk, it's me. So guys, basically we're going to wait until Steph comes back to give us a little bit more insight on that. You have to understand that when you have a job, especially a job that's you have to be committed to and dedicated to, and I think this is anybody in the workforce, you given a certain element, a certain something of yourself to devote to your job, and it has to be something that you're really passionate about. If you're not passionate about the work that you do, the people around you, even financially, which is very, very important. We don't like to touch on the finances that much, but these are all specifically important aspects that you have to sort of look and say, you have to build a framework for yourself, and you have to build a future for yourself. And in doing so, it takes a lot of effort. And we're going to go into the major elements that contribute to a balance of what you do. And this is going in everyday life. It doesn't necessarily mean it's only for your work. Work is something that sort of you learn as you go, and you learn each task that you take on, it betters you as a person. So now, without further ado, we have Vanny trying to come back, and he's trying to give me the sign, but I think we're on a roll here. So now that you're back, Vanny, in terms of the type of character, and I was just explaining that when you take on a job, it has to deal a lot with what interests you, and it has to deal a lot with the element of what you're willing to put in terms of hours, also finances, what you're paid for the job that you do, that you sort of invest, and it sort of gives you that broader spectrum of if you want to continue for years or if you want to change. So the question that I asked you prior, I don't know if you remember.
What it takes.
Yes, what it takes.
Well, yeah. So I mean, we make $200,000-$300,000 a year. That's what we make as a. I'm totally fucking joking. There's about 100 people that just signed up right now. I want to work for Canada. No.
I shouldn't have gone to medical school.
No, it is a definitely a unionized job. So you have security. Absolutely, you have a pension and benefits. Which, if you have a family, speaking of work-life balance,
of course.
I've got children, and those benefits definitely help a lot. No, it's it's a government, so there's a scale, and you keep going up, and you can do overtime. So it's paid well enough. Definitely, in the end, you are delivering mail. You're not building a rocket or something that goes into outer space. You're delivering mail. But yes, being unionized, it definitely has its perks. I'm up to like how many weeks? I have 5 weeks vacation.
Wow.
I have 13 personal days, so I can add those to my vacation days. So yeah, we have kind of, there's a good, the perks are good, definitely working but what it takes to stay in the job, it's always unionized. You're a number. It's experience gets you higher. You kind of move up on the list, and you got to survive the first couple of years because it is quite tough at the beginning.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. But I always hated working inside. I don't like being inside. I like being outside. Yeah. So to me, it felt perfect. With my musician gig, it's also an early morning thing.
Beautiful.
So I go do the mail, I get home and have time to go do my gig and whatever else I want to do. So yeah, it falls great for me.
Well, basically, you're looking at, and what you're really describing is a balance. And that's essentially what I was saying before you actually left, is the balance that it takes for establishing yourself in terms of a workplace and balancing a family and trying to do even extracurricular activities. Because let's be honest, in terms of work and consistent work on a full-time basis, people like to do extracurricular activities. They like to travel, or they like to do podcasts, or they like to go out with friends, or they like to take on different sports, soccer, hockey. I know my daughter used to play hockey. Right? So these are things that you have to invest in, you need to put time into. Yeah. So that being said, because you have a full-time job and you're also gigging as well, plus we're doing the podcast, plus, it just goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
So that essentially points down to a work-life balance.
Well, yourself too, Lisa. You get into... you work for, I'm not 100% sure what kind of company.
I work in property management.
Okay, so boring as fuck. No, sorry. Property management.
I love my job. Yes. I love my job. Actually, I have one of the best bosses. I really have to be honest.
Cool. Okay.
I have one of the best bosses I've ever worked for. So
that makes it fun.
Yeah.
But you have a full-time job, I guess.
I do.
It's every day, Monday to Friday, that kind of vibe?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's Monday to Friday. And then when I go home, it's just...
Well, don't you have a real estate thing too that you like?
Yes, I do. I do work in real estate as well. I still do residential, as well as commercial, industrial, and I do the property management.
And is that on the weekend?
Yes.
Okay.
So I work around the clock.
Okay. Well, there you go. And you have, of course, you have a daughter.
Yes,
home,
of course. I have a family. Absolutely. So that in itself, and I'm sorry to say anybody who has children, even if you don't have children, but I would say predominantly because we do. it takes a good chunk out of you, not in a bad way. I mean, but it's a part of your life. It's a commitment. It's a life commitment when you have a child, and it's an obligation. So you have to continue on that path because they need you. You're showing them what you do, right? So if you give up and you have a lacking, they're going to have a lacking as well. And then everybody knows that negative behaviors are easier learned than positive reinforcing ones.
And that's also the thing about work-life balance is that you have the children and a spouse at home, so you can't always be out.
No.
So you need to help around and you need to be at home.
Yeah.
Your children need you, and so that's, with all the things we do, you need to find time. So it's all about time management and being effective. That's the whole thing about work life, is being effective and managing your time. So dinner in my place, I don't know about yours, but dinner in my house is like, no matter what, we're having dinner.
Yep.
Okay, I say that as my son wasn't home tonight for dinner because he stayed to play soccer with his friends. But we try to have dinner. So 5 out of 7 nights minimum dinner. And then I do, because I have a lot of, I do gig 2-3 times a week. So that'll take me out at night. But the other nights I do stay home.
Yeah.
And if there is work to do, I'll do it if they're doing work. If they're not doing work, I'm going to be in the house. I'm going to go to the park. Whatever it is.
You do what you need to do.
I'm going to be with the kids. Otherwise, if they're doing homework, then I'll go in my office and do my work. But like I said, it's time management. So I know every night what time I'm going to start doing some work and what I need to finish, so that the next day I can be as effective and I, get the sleep in, because that's important.
Well, I think time management is also for yourself as well as your family. Yeah. If you don't manage yourself and you don't have some semblance of organization, there's no way on God's green earth you're going to have an organization for everybody else around you.
And the trick of time management, every day, half an hour, you grab a case of beer, you smash it down as fast as...
self-management.
It's self-management. You grab some beer, or it could be shots of grappa. I got that there. I look like the biggest boozer. How does this guy do?
No, Vanny, you don't at all.
But you know what? You put in a couple of minutes. No, I'm totally joking.
That's why you don't get my mail, eh?
It's always I deliver to the wrong address.
That's it. I'm not Francois.
Oops.
No, I totally agree. But I think it's more along the lines of self-management. You exercise. You have to take care of yourself, because in essence, let's be honest, you can have a family, you can have friends, you can have anybody, but if you don't take care of yourself, nobody will do it. And we can work ourselves to the bone, which we do. We work ourselves to the bone because we have that understanding or that mental belief that we've got to do it, because life is so chaotic that you don't stop and take a breather. How many of us in traffic, when we sit there, start screaming and yelling? Right?
Never.
There's too many trucks. This guy cut you off, giving the finger, rolling down the window, screaming. Like, everybody's done it.
Because you didn't have your drink. You didn't have your drink yet.
No, actually, I did. No, I had my coffee.
Well, but part of that too, work-life balance, like keeping in shape, is totally important.
Exactly.
And to be honest, because I did start the Canada Post thing, and then I said I want to keep doing music. And, you need to keep in shape. So exercise is super important. That's part of my reasoning for going into Canada Post, is because I fucking hate going to the gym. I hate doing exercise by myself. Like,
I love it. I do it.
Can't stand it. So this forces me to do it. I like being active, but to sit there and do, 40 push-ups, not my thing.
No, I'm not a push-up person.
It's whatever it may be, weights, crunches, whatever it is. I prefer to walk. I prefer to swim. So I'm going to do that. I like sports.
I love swimming.
But being active is important. So that was part of my decision to get that work-life balance. I get my exercise by working. I don't really need to go, because I do a lot of, I do like easily 20,000 steps a day. So I get enough of my exercise just there. So
you're lucky. I sit all day.
Well, but you're on the phone, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I deal with a lot of people.
Okay.
Deal with a lot of people in what I do.
Hence why I don't want to do it.
But the thing is, I don't really I exercise. I exercise when I get home. I'm the one of the types of people where I don't really need a gym. I go home and I have my own little gym, quote unquote. I have an elliptical, whatnot.
Who do you have? YouTube?
Yeah, that too. Oh my God, I have a really good video. I have a really good video that I use, and she's fabulous.
Okay.
Burns the core, let me tell you.
The core?
The core.
Can I eat a nice plate of pasta with it?
If you want.
That's what I'm talking about.
Aw. No, we're talking about exercise and fulfillment. That puts you to sleep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, whatever.
But also it helps you with stress management.
Okay.
And anybody who knows me knows that I'm a stress ball. I do stress.
Really?
Just a tad.
You hide it well, I have to say.
I just a bit.
No, you hide
just
it well.
like an itsy bitsy like this much.
What stresses you out?
I have no idea. I just everything. Sometimes when you get up in the morning, and they say we are different in the East as from the West. We have more of a tendency to always want to rush and be on time, and kids and work and this and that. So for me, I take a lot on myself. Okay, so stress meaning I always know that the house has to be cleaned. If I see a glass out of place, I start freaking out because I just cleaned the counter and then I see a glass.
Oh, so you're sick in the head.
It gives me like gives me acid. So I like clean laundry. When there's a mountain, I have an aneurysm. Especially when I hate folding clothes. I hate cleaning my house, but I have to do it. So it's very stressful because after a work week, right, you always have to clean and you always have to cook, right? And the funny part is in all of this is that I like to cook, and the most relaxing thing for me is baking. Try that as a twist. It's not work for me.
See, you got to be effective in life. So I'm going to say, when you bake, bake an extra batch and I'll pick it up.
I
right?
did.
That's how you be effective. I tell you, make an extra batch, or I tell my parents all the time, whenever you make the sausages, just make fucking 2 shoulders more. I'm picking it up and I pick up my mom's sauce and we're good to go.
But that's a good form. Okay, some people think it's crazy because I was going to say the garage, but the kitchen is actually a disaster. But I love to bake. I just really, really love to bake. And I like to cook, but I like baking more because you eat, as you go. So that's my catharsis and that's my stress management. I also listen to music in the process, which is also a stress management for me. But other than that, I mean, give me housework. My stress goes right up. I can't stand it. Plus, I have 2 boxers. I have 2 dogs.
I have 8 pairs because I got one a day. Boxer shorts.
That one crashed and burned.
That was fucking funny. Come on.
That was a bit cheese. I won't lie.
Come on. It's very cheese.
I meant the dogs.
Oh, whatever.
I have 2 male boxers and 4 birds. So if anybody knows stress, it's yours truly. I had guinea pigs. I even had a goat once.
Oh.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Part of my work-life balance, I had a dog. I don't want to say that error, because my dog was amazing. I loved him.
Yeah.
But after he passed away, I said, well, it's so much work. And I love them. And it becomes like I literally took my dog for 2 walks a day for an hour a day because I felt bad. He's in the house.
Of course.
He needs to go for a walk. So even though I really did not feel like it, I would get home from gigs at 1 a.m. I felt bad, and I would fucking take a walk. And then I said, you know what? I'm not going to willingly do this again. After my dog passed, I said, no, I can't. As much as I'd rather someone else get a dog, like your boxers. I'll come and pet your boxers and have fun with them when I don't have to walk them and fucking pick up their shit. Anyway, sorry about that.
No, but I mean, okay, they're cute. I lost my female boxer, so she died of stomach torsion in 2020. Ooh. So I had to get another boxer.
Of course.
I had to. They have to be in pairs.
They do.
And in my house, everything is in pairs or 4s.
Pairs or 4s?
Pairs
I'm going to ask.
I have 2 dogs. I have 4 birds.
How many husbands? That's funny.
Oh, my God. That's another podcast entirely. Nobody wants to hear about that. Actually, you probably do. So I have my 2 boxers, which are completely chaotic, and they're males. One is a pup and one is 5, but still, it's disaster. And they sleep on our beds.
How did our podcast go into dogs sleeping?
Well, we're talking about time management and stress management, right? We're talking about stress management.
And the dog sleeping in the bed. Okay.
Well, that's supposed to be stress management, but I have no room. Okay. So, and I always do laundry, which goes into the stress.
Gotcha. So the dog creates more laundry for you.
It freaking does.
And hence why I will not. So I I talk big, but my family always wanted a pet. And I was like, no. And then COVID. Fuck, I said, okay, let me get a cat. I'll get a cat because it's a lot less work. And I got the cat.
It's not a lot less work.
And the cat is fucking sick, and he's got fucking medication, $130 a month in medication, gastrointestinal problems with his stomach. So I got to get him special food, which is $100 a bag. What the
so that's called cat. Stress. How do you manage your stress?
Jesus. And he goes in my canteen and rips open bags of pasta to eat.
Pasta.
Yes,
Italian cat.
Dried pasta. He goes and he rips open the bag and he tries to steal the pasta. Little bastard. Anyway.
Oh my God. I was going to say a bag of chips, but anyways. So, actually, because of all of this in life that we have to deal with so much, and it's a lot of chaos, it's a lot of change, right? You deal with a lot of change in life, and sometimes we're not ready for the change. So let's say, for example, you're driving, whatnot, and your car breaks down, because it happens. Starter won't start. You get a flat, because it happens to me, and it's like, oh Christ, what am I supposed to do now? I have to call this. So it's like a deviant from your daily routine, and you just go nuts. So that's part of your stress as well. It's like you can't manage everything.
Can I ask, since we're on this topic,
Yeah.
and I'm the guest, fuck, you should be asking me question. I'm the guest.
We talked about Canada.
I'm the
What do you want
best.
from me?
No. Listen. So let's, for fun, what's your week this week? Let's say, how's your week? Like, what's your schedule? Okay, I'll start with mine. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
What's my schedule? Well, in terms of what? In terms of work, what I have to do?
No, your whole schedule. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. I work Monday to Friday. So this week, every day I work Monday to Friday. Tonight, we're filming the podcast. We're actually filming as well tomorrow because we have... it's a special week. Generally, we film every couple of weeks, but now it's one of those weeks.
Yeah.
So Monday to Friday. On Saturday, I have a gig in Oka. On Sunday, I have a gig. Sunday morning, I have a gig. And then every other night, I got to edit these podcasts. So that's my week. So, 40 hours of Canada Post, 2 gigs. One is a wedding. I think it's a wedding. And then I have a regular Sunday gig in a hotel downtown. God. That's Sunday, so it's 11:30 to 2:30, and by the time I'm home, but I spend Sunday night at home.
Good.
And then we, editing every night when the kids kind of go to bed or when they're doing their homework. I'm going to be doing some editing of this, and I got to learn songs and practice and get charts ready. So that's my week. What's your week look like?
So you work 7 days a week. So do I.
I
work 40 hours a week. I actually work 7 days a week. So I work during the week.
So you have to outdo me by I work 7 days. I said 7.
Yeah, but you only work Sunday morning. See, I work Sunday all day.
All day.
So I got you beat.
Okay.
So we both work 7 days a week. Technically, we both work 7 days a week.
But my jobs are fucking fun and yours suck. But whatever.
Yeah, they do. I like my job. I have an awesome boss. And now I just got. So I work 7 days a week, and then I also.
Well, when you say 7 days, so Monday to Friday at your.
Yes, and then on the weekend I help.
So what's your schedule with your real estate job?
It's weekends. It's morning.
Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
And then we do the podcasts.
Yeah.
We do 3 podcasts.
Yeah.
We have to prepare. We have ideas and whatnot. We have to get guests. I get sponsors, and that's not on top of cleaning my house, doing my laundry.
Secondary.
That's not secondary. It's part of my week. Right?
But you see, time management. You have kids. The minute they hit a certain age, clean the house. Go shovel.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I have to say.
Good luck with that.
I'm lucky that my 16-year-old cuts the grass.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I didn't touch the lawnmower. He broke it, but I didn't touch the lawnmower this year. I paid to fix it, but I didn't touch the lawnmower. So that's good. And now leaves are falling.
That's why you do the gigs.
So he's doing the leaf picking up and all of that
Very
stuff.
good.
Yeah. So that helps. And my daughter definitely helped. Well, no, they both help with dishes and all that because a household cannot run unless everyone's on board.
Oh, true. But I mean, my daughter works and she goes to school full time. So I barely see her.
Oh.
Right. So it's like she is a full-time student and it's an intensive year because she's actually doing film. So she's doing that, and now she's going to school. She works as well part-time, and then she has to have a social life. So I barely even see her.
Social life?
Yes.
What the hell's that?
I know. It's a thing called, if I remember correctly, going out with friends.
Oh.
Which I haven't seen, my friend, especially one in particular.
Well, Francesca never shows up here.
No. Actually, I'm talking about my friend Vero, God bless her. It's been 6 months prior to the last time that I've seen her. And she just looked at me and she said, "This is insane." I'm like, "Oh my God, I haven't seen you in we went to a movie last week, went to see The Nun 2. And it was very scary. We loved it.
Speaking of which, I like to see buddies as well, and I like to see family. It's very important. I'd like to, my kids, I want them to know all my family. And this is where my wife freaks out because I don't have many days where I can have family parties.
Yeah.
So when I decide, okay, hey, you want to invite your cousin over? Okay. at that point I call every single cousin
That's
because I
it.
get
You
them
have to
all.
do it. You have
So
to do
every
it.
time I have people over, it's not like 2 or 3. I have like 12 or 15. If I invite my friends over for a swim or whatever, it's
have to
I don't
invite
invite. I invite all of them, so I get them all out of the way.
That's
I see them all.
beautiful. Yeah, but
Because
it's fun.
time management.
Yeah, that's
Fun.
time management. It's everybody at once.
Because if I have to dedicate every set of friends or every family member that day a week,
Yeah.
it gets really tough.
Yeah,
I can't do it, right?
Yeah, I
so
know.
I'll have that one Sunday. Hey, I'm not working. Let's invite the whole fucking crew over. And next thing you know, we're making food for like 40 people. And
Oh, shit. But that's fun.
Not 40, but I do 30. I've had 30 people over.
Yeah, that's a lot. I remember I had New Year's Eve. I had 30 people over at my house.
And
one
we
year.
get
It was
messed
quite a
up.
bit.
If it's fucking shitty day outside, we're messed up. They're all in the house and I want to shoot myself.
Oh my God.
But if it's a nice day, everyone's outside, we're good to go.
Well, that's it. So in the end, it's in the end, that's part of the work life. And then you also have, you need time for you. I find that it's very hard to get time for you. Be it the fact that I wish I was able to go on vacation at least once every week.
Oh no, that is my go-to.
Yeah.
My family knows that once a year 2 weeks we are together
Yeah.
on a vacation, and that is guaranteed. So that is the one thing my parents instilled in me.
Yes.
And and it has to be away, because if I'm here in the city
Yeah.
and I go to fucking, I don't know, a camping thing for a week, it doesn't work, because I feel like I gotta work and I feel I'm close to working but I can't, and then I think of things.
Yeah.
I need to get on a plane,
Yeah.
get the hell away from here,
Yeah.
so that I really detach.
It's hard though, because we have dogs, right? So
that's-
I know that's the thing. So my
See
husband,
why I didn't get
see,
it.
my husband tries to put them in like kennels and stuff, and he kind of feels bad in the sense that you're leaving them, they're like children. So that's kind of like the hard part. But I remember when we went to Italy, it was just like unreal. It was that was a good vacation.
No, it's all about vacation.
Of course, I totally agree. I would love to have more than one a year. Totally. I would love to have at least 2 or 3. But in the end,
Back to work.
Yeah.
You gotta get back to work.
they seem to find me.
Come on,
What the
it's
hell?
back to work. You need
They
to work.
always seem to find me, and I don't know how the hell they do it. So that's it. It's basically, and that's one of the biggest ones, I think, is managing your leisure time. To sort of say, I'm going to, sit this one out, relax, take it easy, and not overstress,
To be honest, I have a job, like I play music, and it's a job. We get paid. I go and I when there's a wedding, it's stressful, but I love it so much that's my leisure. I can, once I'm on, I love being on stage. So that is my leisure. So I don't need to watch TV for 2 hours, or I'm okay. I like it, but I really don't watch TV. If I put the TV on, it's late at night just to numb my brain, because it's like 11 and I need to simmer down. So I'll put something stupid to numb, which I usually last 8 minutes and then I'm out cold. But yeah, that's luckily that part of my work-life balance, like my work is something I really enjoy. So the music is my leisure. It really is.
Yeah,
So,
you see?
Thank God.
So, but you have the music because
Yeah.
you're able to use that as an outlet. I have the baking, and and I think in the end, it works out. As any way that you can get your I guess stresses,
Yeah.
things that you do, anything that you can get it out. It's the best thing to do.
Absolutely.
And I know it's very hard with kids. I know it's very hard with kids, but in the end, you made a choice, right?
Okay, let's do something here, Lee.
What?
Usually we've got a little game going. We're not
I
gonna.
know I didn't do the rapid response.
Well,
this
we're not
time.
gonna do the rapid response because it's weird with 2 people.
Yeah, I know.
So we're gonna save that for Francesca for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But what we are gonna do is we're gonna plug our other podcasts because they're really cool. Let's Talk It Out is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But we have other podcasts that we do. We both do sessions with Steph where we kind of switch roles, and I end up being on that table
That's
with
it.
musicians. But another podcast that we both do together with Francesca as well, and Alfie and other members from Likumbare is the Likumbare podcast, which is really, really cool. And that comes out, that's every Sunday. We've got a podcast, 15-20 minutes, very Italian Canadian. Basically, it's an Italianish podcast that when I say Italian Canadian, it's like us Italians here living. We talk about modern Italians, and I don't want to say we talk about only Italians. We talk about traditions that Italians have.
And then you carry on.
We make it funny. And it's like, if you see Alfie, if you guys haven't seen it, go to Li Combati, subscribe, because it's really funny. We act a lot more wacky. Well, I don't know. We act pretty stupid.
Well, we act less of our characters, but you recognize our characters through the podcast.
And where this started from, explain. We had a nice, really, we had a series, believe it or not. I'm not an actor, but Lisa definitely is, I'm sure she still is, a great actress, but she had started a series, a YouTube series called Li Combati. That's where we got the name, and it was an ongoing episodic show. Super funny. I found super funny, and good storyline going on, always tongue-in-cheek, where we would ad-lib and have a blast, and that's how the podcast came. But you should check it out. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, along with Sessions with Steph, we had we have that podcast, this podcast, Sessions with Steph. We got sponsors. Yeah,
the sponsors I think are really encouraging also, because we do. I mean, let's face it. It's very difficult to do a podcast. It's very difficult to come up with material, especially when you have to relate to people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, and in order for people to relate to you, they have to sort of create a rapport with you first of all, and the topics that you're talking about. If I'm talking about something that's completely lunar and left field, people are going to say, well, why the heck are we watching this, right? Yeah. So you have to really create a rapport with people. Now, I love the topic of aliens. Vanny, on the other hand, does not want to touch on that topic.
I have ixnayed that topic. I said, as long as I'm here, get someone to do the producing, and you can have that. You can have that podcast. I'm not a big alien fan.
You're a skeptic.
I'm a skeptic.
Yeah.
Or a realist. You can call it whatever you want. But yeah.
What?
Yes. Anyhow, that's a debate. We can have our own alien podcast, and
I think
I'm sure there'll probably be more people watching that than this.
Maybe the aliens.
But
just to say.
Absolutely. But let's be honest. We do this podcast, and if it wasn't for the sponsors, I thank them, because in the end, when we talk about work-life balance, we have to balance our families and our work. And this podcast is a hobby that we enjoy.
Yeah.
But, we've been doing it for quite a while. And if no funds come in,
eventually it's like
the spouse can say, what the hell? I know you want to have fun, but you're never home.
Yeah.
So, and of course they should, because you should be home. If you can't just always accept everything, and
of course.
You need to find that work-life balance. So again, I'm getting to the topic of thank you sponsors very, very much. It's a minimal sponsorship. It keeps us going. It makes our spouses not get mad. Yeah, but if we were getting paid for it,
Well, I think, my spouse doesn't get mad, but I mean,
neither does mine, but just to say.
I know, but I mean, it's a question of also doing something that you that interests you, and that it doesn't occupy too much of your time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if this was another job, then I'd say, okay, yeah, you're never home. Yeah. I would totally understand. Yeah. This is something that you're speaking your mind. This is a podcast that people are speaking their mind. Many people do it on different platforms, whether it's funny, dramatic, crime, whatnot. I mean, it's knowing that you have a voice and you're able to entertain somebody, no matter how many people. And the fact that we have sponsors to support that is incredible, right? And I think, to sort of be humbled at the fact that people actually watch the podcast, it sort of gives you an extra,
kick in the ass.
And it sort of gives you extra encouragement.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think there's nothing wrong with that. Yep. So I think if you want to do a podcast, or if you want to do extracurricular activities, we put our kids in sports. Those are extracurricular activities. They are able to do that hours at a time. We don't see them, right? Yes, we miss them. We want them to be there. But I think in terms of creating a balance for yourself as a person, it's always important to do something that you feel is important to you, because you can't always please others. So I think it's very important for everybody to do something like that. And with sponsors, it helps.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'm not sure if anybody else has anything to say. Please write it in the comments if you have anything to say about the work or the balance, because everybody can relate to this. Everybody, whether you're a man, woman, child, anybody can relate to this. And I know we all also have our parents, and some of us have our grandparents still. God bless. So spend as much time as you can, especially with your grandparents and your parents.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, because without them, you wouldn't be who you are.
Yeah.
And we're freaking fantastic.
And absolutely. And you know what? Speaking of which, because you said put stuff in the comments, guys, we love doing Let's Talk It Out. It's so much fun, and it's a very vast. There's a lot of topics we can cover. So we try to think of things that could be interesting, and then we try to get a guest accordingly. We like to get artists, we like to get comedians, we like to get anything that is a fun chat, a fun talk. So if you guys have any ideas on anything that you would say, hey, I think that would be cool, write it in the comments. We would gladly look, you know, we like doing the research, looking up people that we can have. We at one point, Lisa and I decided to have a ghosty thing. Like a guy who talks to ghosts and all that
Dominic,
stuff.
Yes.
You know, it's not my go-to, I'm gonna say. I don't really, you know, but I know that there are people, and I don't disregard if people enjoy it. That's great. And we said, well, look, we didn't know Dominic, but we researched.
It was interesting.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We researched a guy who does this, because there are times you'd be surprised. And we got a guest, we brought him on Let's Talk It Out, and we talked about it. We had family law, we had lawyers on, we had
wedding planners,
real estate brokers, you name, mortgage brokers, all of it. So guys, if there's anything you want us to talk about on Let's Talk It Out, please feel free, put it in the comments, send us a message, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. All of that, man.
But I also think that I've received messages personally.
Oh, cool.
Right? I receive messages personally for people who want to actually be on the show.
Sure.
So guys, it's our pleasure. You know, we'll slot you in, that's for sure. And that's a part of balancing. So guys, on that note, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Stefano, for talking to us about your job.
I think I was the best guest ever on Let's Talk It Out. I'm just saying, kidding, of course, but
no, but actually it was nice. Thank you so much. And guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, to our sponsors, thank you so much for sponsoring us. Without you guys, we'd be very sad.
Guys, Let's Talk It Out comes out every second Wednesday. Sessions with Steph.
Sessions without
Steph. Sessions with Steph is every second Wednesday as well. So they alternate. So one week you're gonna get Let's Talk It Out.
Yep.
The next week you get Sessions with Steph. And Lee Kumbare is every Sunday. So guys, sign up to all three. You've got some good content while you're driving, while you're in the shower. You can listen to some. You can either listen or
your
watch.
Headphones while you're washing.
Yeah, exactly. So check it out, guys. Subscribe. It's a lot of fun, and send any advice or whatever. Feel free, comment and tell us what you'd like to hear next, and we would love to do it.
And we'd like to interview you guys, so contact us. So take care. See you guys next time. You all rock. Bye.
Ciao.